series on SEL for remediation. When we talk about remediation, we often think of content gaps, reading levels, math fluency, missed competencies. Pero alam naman natin na ang remediation ay hindi lang about our learners catching up. It is about rebuilding confidence. It's about restoring motivation, reestablishing belonging. Research consistently shows that academic recovery is strongest when paired with social and emotional development. Learners who can regulate emotions, persevere through difficulty, seek help appropriately, and feel safe in their learning spaces are far more likely to succeed. Kaya importante ang social and emotional learning. Ito ay essential, hindi siya optional. This session looks at why SEL and remediation need to be considered together. Tara na, mag-umpisa na tayo. Ano nga ba ang social emotional learning? SEL refers to skills that support learning, how students manage emotions, sustain effort, and stay engaged. These skills directly affect how learners respond to instruction. SEL becomes especially important in challenging learning situations katulad na lang ng ating mga aral sessions. Bakit nga ba hindi lang academic catch-up ang ating remediation? Di ba nga haba ng ating hinahabol, ang haba-haba ng tinatakbo natin, parang, oh my gosh, I really need to catch up. My learners need to catch up. Usually, remediation is treated as content catch-up alone. Parang iniisip natin, kailangan makahabol yung mga bata. Totoo naman yon. But evidence shows that when remediation focuses only on skills, learning gaps can deepen. Effective remediation also considers learner readiness. Handa nga ba sila? How prepared are our students to engage and persist? Ngayon, what does SEL support in learning? Ano nga ba? SEL supports self-regulation, attention, and sustained effort. These are learning enabling skills students rely on to stay focused and complete tasks. Kapag walang SEL, ang ating mga mag-aaral, even strong instruction may not lead to progress. So kahit gaano kagaling si teacher sa pagtuturo ng content, kung hindi handa ang ating mga mag-aaral sa kanilang social and emotional learning skills, hindi rin sila matututo ng epektibo. Bakit nga ba? Bakit siya importante? Remediation requires learners to persist through difficulty and manage frustration. Madalas, ang ating mga learners natutunan na nila to dati, narinig na nila. Pero hindi rin kasi tumatak, no? They didn't really catch it. So, we expect them to persist. Hindi, tuloy mo pa yan kahit na mahirap, kahit na nahihirapan ka. Our learners are expected to manage frustration while relearning content. SEL strengthens learner readiness so students can stay engaged and responsive to intervention. How does SEL do this? SEL strengthens remediation when competencies are taught intentionally and not assumed. So talagang tuturo natin sa kanila kung ano itong mga competencies na to. Hindi ibig sabihin, sinabi ko na yan, dapat naintindihan niyo na. Sasadyain natin, kaya intentional. Both teacher SEL and learner SEL influence how instruction and remediation are delivered. So hindi lang pala mag-aaral, pati tayo. Matututunan natin yan dito sa webinar series na ito. When SEL is integrated across classrooms, schools, and communities, learning gains are more likely to be sustained. So hindi siya one time, hindi siya one-shot deal. Kaya natin ito ginagawa. Mga kakolab, lahat ng mga ito ay matututunan natin sa ating aral series on SEL. Now, we would like to reframe remediation as building readiness for learning. Para saan nga ba? Well, learning recovery requires strengthening both academic skills and learner readiness. It's not just about fixing academic gaps. It requires rebuilding. Talagang bubuuin natin ulit ang ating learner readiness, their engagement, effort, and persistence. When SEL and remediation are aligned, progress is more likely to be sustained over time. That's the good news. If you'd like to read more about SEL and remediation, please visit these references and learn more for yourself. Kayang-kaya natin to. Muli, mga kakolab, remediation is not just about catching up. It's about strengthening our learners so growth becomes sustainable. If we want real progress, we must deepen our understanding of SEL and how it drives recovery. Tara na, pag-aralan pa natin to. Sama-sama tayong matuto dito sa Aral Series on SEL and Remediation. See you mga kakolab!
She is the Senior Specialist and Head of Teacher Quality Development Unit of Simeo Innotek's Learning Development and Management Office. With 20 years of experience in leadership, education, and development, Ms. Mitch has co-designed and implemented regional programs across Southeast Asia to support school heads, teachers, and education leaders. She played a key role in developing the Southeast Asian School Leadership Program, or CSLP, which strengthens leadership through context-based, reflective, and collaborative learning. Ms. Mitch has also led the development of specialized courses on instructional leadership, stakeholder engagement, and social and emotional learning. She holds a degree in communication from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines and postgraduate credentials in instructional design and technology from the Southeast Asia Interdisciplinary Development Institute. At kilalanin po natin kung sino ang ating next speaker. Sabay-sabay natin salubungin ng Heart Reacts, Miss Mitch Saravillo. Hello po, Miss Mitch.
Hello, Teacher Hill. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Maayong buntag sa tanan. Good morning, everyone.
Miss Mitch, how are you feeling today?
Sobrang happy and excited. Very grateful as well kasi I'm sharing this space with more than actually almost 50,000 teachers from all over the country. So sobrang grateful po ako to be here.
That's correct, Miss Mitch. Almost 50,000 live ang nanonood sa atin today. And I'm sure they also feel the same way. So please take away the floor now.
Thank you, Teacher Hill. So again, ako po si Mitch and I will be sharing with you a learning solution that we co-developed with the Department of Education and Child Fund Philippines. So ito pong learning solution na ito ay tinatawag na Excellent. Excellent po is an acronym. Alam naman po natin, no, mahilig tayo sa acronym. But Excellent is, it stands for Exemplifying Social and Emotional Learning in Learners' Environments and Teachers' Pedagogy. So ito po ay first locally developed competency framework on SEL. So tatalakayin po natin kung paano ito makakaambag sa ating aral sessions. Ganito po yung ating magiging discussion flow. So why do SEL and a contextualized SEL matter? Tapos magda-dive po ako sa Excellent Competency Framework, but it's gonna be surface level. Wala po kasi tayong time to really go into the details, but I will be sharing with you an explainer note so doon po makikita yung detalye ng Excellent Competency Framework. And then lastly, of course, we will be tackling yung sabi ko nga, yung relevance ng Excellent Framework sa aral program. So, kanina nag-check-in na si Teacher Hill. Gusto ko rin pong mag-check-in sa inyo kasi Valentine's Day, gusto ko pong kumustahin ang inyong mga puso. So, nakikita po ninyo sa screen, ano, sa pagsagot po ninyo sa tanong, ngayong Valentine's Day, kamusta ang puso mo? So, sagutin lang po ninyo with a number. Is it a 5? Umaapaw po ba sa good vibes at pag-asa ang inyong puso? Or is it a 4? Magaan at okay ang flow? 3, okay lang, sakto, kinakaya. Or 2, pagod pero lumalaban. Or 1, drained, kailangang mag-recharge. So, mga teachers, mga ka-collab, ngayong Valentine's Day, kamusta po ang puso mo? So, please answer using the chat box. Ilagay lang po ninyo, ayan, pumapasok na yung mga sagot. Sabi nga, no, wala pong tama or maling sagot. Wow, almost all of you are 5. Merong 3, meron ding 2, 4, 5. Oh, wow. Range of emotions po, ano. Ang nakikita ko sa chat box, meron din pong nagsabi ng 1. Okay, please keep your answers coming. Yes, 5, 4, 3, a lot of 3s. Sakto. 4, 5, ayan. Thank you so much for checking in. Yung ask ko lang po, no, doon sa mga nagsabi na 5 sila, from wherever you are in the Philippines, paki-send po yung inyong positive vibes sa lahat po ng mga ka-collab na nandito sa space natin. And doon naman po sa nagsabi ng 2 at 1, pagod at drained. Naririnig po namin kayo and we will be sending virtual hugs to each one of you. Sana po as we go through the session, gumaan yung ating feeling. So, maraming salamat po for checking in again. And I asked this question because I would like to emphasize that SEL begins not with our learners. It begins with you, our teachers. You actually model it through your words, your behavior inside the classroom, even the classroom management techniques and strategies that you use, your instruction. Doon po natin na-model yung SEL. So napakahalaga na tayo mga guro, malakas yung ating social and emotional learning skills. Naririnig namin yung mga teachers, we cannot pour from an empty cup. Diba? Lagi ko yan naririnig. May version ng isa niyan. We cannot give what we don't have. So bago po natin facilitate yung SEL sa ating mga classrooms, kailangan tayo, sigurado tayo na equipped, di ba, tayo sa pag-facilitate ng SEL at tayo mismo, minomodel natin siya. So this simple activity is an emotional scanning. So isa siyang self-reflection, no? Very simple self-reflection, which is a tenet of SEL. So again, maraming salamat po for checking in. Ngayon, I think we're ready to discuss. Oh, yung ating learning objectives, no? Parang nagkabaliktad. But again, I mentioned already that I will be sharing with you the excellent framework or yung exemplifying social and emotional learning in learners' environments and teachers' pedagogy. Ito po yung tawag sa contextualized SEL competency framework for Filipino learners. So atin po ito, no? Sabi nga, locally grounded and developed framework. And hopefully, by the end of our session together, ma-appreciate po ninyo yung excellent framework at sana po ma-define ninyo siya, ma-explain ninyo siya in your own words at pwede nyo pang lamanan ng inyong mga experiences and of course practices. And also of course together we will reflect how the excellent framework may be applied to respond to our learners' needs. Okay, so sabi ko kanina, I structured the session by starting or asking here by asking why SEL. Actually, si Teacher Candice already explained, ano? But I would like to also mention that ang SEL naman po is not new, di ba? I think they mentioned already what's new now is that how we are actually intentionally naming it, strengthening it, and using it, especially for learning recovery. So, bakit nga ba SEL? Bakit natin pinalalakas yung SEL skills natin? Siguro po wag na tayong lumayo ano, tignan na lang natin yung ating community, yung ating mga classrooms, 'di ba? Yung mga learners natin, they're growing up in a world that moves very, very fast. Na kahit tayo hirap na hirap mag-catch up. Ang information po 24/7 they have access. Yung news, whether it be fake or facts, di ba? Lahat yan, they spread very quickly and they can go viral. Yung mga learners natin, they're stimulated, very, very stimulated. Pero when it comes to support, hindi natin masabi whether they are fully supported. And so SEL is really, really important. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to go to the next slide. Ayan. So, okay. So, please bear with us, ano? Kasi nga, napakarami natin sa room. So, ang ating internet kailangan maki-cooperate. So, ayan. So, talking about our learners, very important that we help them navigate all these issues. Kasi, ano siya, sabay-sabay, di ba? Andiyan yung academic pressure, tapos gawa nga na very exposed sila sa social media. Social comparison is there, ang daming pressure, not just from their family, but their friends and peers, online and also offline. At exposed sila kasi nga may access pala to the internet 24/7. They're exposed sila to many issues and concerns that kahit sila, they barely understand. And alam naman po natin how technology is fast changing, no? And ang ang nakaka-ano lang po dito, ine-expect natin yung mga students natin, mga learners natin to adapt quickly. And which is why when we talk with our learners, maririnig natin yung mga words na overwhelmed, no? And siguro po, if we're being honest, it's actually not just our learners who feel this pressure. Yung teachers din po, kayo din po, you're also navigating the same change, the same expectations and uncertainties. So ito na yung mundong ginagalawan natin ngayon, which is why, sabi ko nga, napakahalaga na pinalalakas natin yung ating SEL skills. And binanggit na rin ito ni Teacher Candice kanina, but let me just mention that sa Excellent, we define SEL as a process that helps us develop our knowledge, our skills, our attitude and values to understand and manage ourselves and show care and concern for others, build positive and respectful relationships, make responsible decisions so that we are able to navigate life's challenges. Marami na pong research ang nagsasabi na ang SEL has strong positive impact on learners. So it leads to better academic performance, improved behavior, decreased dropout rates, and reduced stress and depression. So SEL is indeed the foundation for lifelong success. But we also know that SEL is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It must reflect the learner's context, realities, and their indigenous ways of being, expressing, and developing. So, which that leads me to my next point. Why the need to contextualize? Because, and I hope we will all agree, no, because SEL is not neutral. It is shaped by culture, relationships, community norms, and power dynamics. If we simply import frameworks without contextualizing them, we run the risk of one, overlooking yung ating local strengths and practices. Second, undermining our heritage by imposing Western-centric models. And lastly, creating dissonance among learners, parents, and teachers. And that dissonance shows up silently. Diba, makikita natin yung disengagement ng ating mga learners, tapos merong resistance. Diyan na natin maririnig yung mga linyahang hindi naman kasi bagay sa amin yan o hindi kami makarelate. So very, very important that we contextualize. the framework. Kaya natutuwa kami that, we already have something that we can share with you. Yun na po yung excellent framework. Sabi ko nga, the contextualized SEL framework for Filipino learners. So, yung research question po namin in developing the framework was, ano ba yung itsura ng contextualized SEL framework for Filipino learners? So kung mapapansin niyo po in that question, meron ng assumption that there is, meron na, ine-exhibit na ng ating mga Filipino learners ang SEL. So, but of course, later you will see, ano ba yung itsura niya? Yung search po namin for answer brought us to Apayao hanggang Gulo. So, very grateful din po kami that with this initiative, we were able to visit a number of communities in Metro Manila, sabi ko nga Apayao, Bacolod, North Cotabato, Sulu, at nakarating din po kami ng Tawi-Tawi. At ayun, nakinig po kami sa diverse stories and perspectives ng ating mga K-12 students. Kasama rin po yung mga ALS learners and of public school system po ito na ating mga kinausap. Kasama rin po doon yung kanilang mga teachers, parents, and of course, the education experts who helped us put together, make sense of the framework. So, yeah, an excellent framework po is not a product of desk work. Talagang nakinig po tayo sa mga stories, which is why, sabi nga namin, this is the SEL for the Filipino learners by the Filipino learners themselves. Kasi this was co-created with everyone, with important stakeholders in education. But you will see that there is really a bias on strengths. It is anchored in strengths. Yun po yung tinignan namin o ginamit naming lens. We actually used appreciative inquiry because we wanted to, of course, investigate what's already working out there. Ano na yung kakayanan ng ating mga Filipino learners at hindi yung kanilang gaps or deficits. Tapos, of course, grounded yon sa kanilang stories, values, and lived experiences. And gusto ko lang din pong ihabol na itong mga competencies na to, hindi naman sila pinanganak, no? They're not born with these competencies. These competencies can be learned and further developed. I think that's a very, very important thing to highlight. So, ito na po siya. Ito na yung itsura ng excellent, the contextualized SEL competency framework for Filipino learners. So yung journey po namin affirmed that Filipino learners already demonstrate SEL skills. Sila ay mga batang mahusay at may tiwala sa sarili. But of course, the goal is to further strengthen yung SEL skills at gusto natin syempre lahat sana ng Filipino learners maging batang mahusay at may tiwala sa sarili at sa kapwa. Now, for us to better appreciate itong excellent, meron po akong ipapanood na video sa inyo. Let's watch this.
Framework. We all want our students to succeed, not just academically, but in life. But how do we guide them beyond grades? How can we help them grow socially, emotionally, and responsibly? That's where the excellent framework comes in. The framework highlights social and emotional learning, or SEL, an approach that strengthens how learners understand and manage themselves and their relationships. SEL helps learners understand themselves, how they think, feel, and act so they can manage their emotions and handle everyday situations more confidently. It also strengthens the values and skills learners need to show care for others, build healthy relationships, make responsible choices, and face challenges with confidence and empathy. But SEL is not one size fits all. For it to truly work, it must connect with the learner's culture, context, and experiences. For Filipino learners, this connection is even more important. Learners across the country face unique challenges shaped by poverty, mental health struggles, social inequality, and geographic diversity. When SEL programs don't reflect these realities, they can feel disconnected and less impactful. That's why the Excellent Framework was created. Built from Filipino learners' voices and experiences, it is the result of a collaboration among the Department of Education, Child Fund Philippines, and Simeo Inotech. Together, these organizations share one belief. Ang batang Pilipino ay batang mahusay, may tiwala sa sarili at sa kapwa. To ensure the framework truly reflects learners' needs, researchers reviewed current SEL programs and worked hand in hand with teachers, students, parents, and community leaders. These partners actively took part in shaping the framework, sharing insights, validating ideas, and co-creating each stage through experiences gathered across 6 diverse communities. High-achieving students also contributed crucial insights in showing SEL in action. Their experiences helped illustrate how social-emotional skills shape resilience, confidence, and success. As the Excellent Framework was developed, its goal became clear: to help students grow confident and competent, guided by 2 interconnected domains, pagpapakatao and pakikipagkapwa-tao. Pagpapakatao centers on personal growth grounded in being humane. It helps learners build core competencies: pagkilala sa sarili, pamamahala sa sarili, pagiging responsable, and pagsisikap. These help learners build confidence, resilience, and a strong sense of responsibility. Pakikipagkapwa-tao focuses on social connection and collaboration. It helps learners develop core competencies: pakikiisa and pagmamalasakit, fostering empathy, teamwork, and meaningful relationships. Together, they contribute to strengthening a shared humanity. By developing both personal and social skills, the framework empowers learners to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally, preparing them to contribute meaningfully to their communities. The Excellent Framework marks an important milestone in Philippine education. As a living document, it will continue to evolve, adapting to new insights, changing contexts, and the diverse needs of learners across the country. By nurturing social and emotional skills, SEL is an investment in our nation's future, empowering learners into the changemakers of tomorrow. Introducing.
So ang tanong, is it radically different from other frameworks? It's actually not, but it captures distinctly the Filipino perspectives, and it highlights nuanced differences that reflect, of course, our unique world views, values, and experiences. Sana po na-appreciate ninyo yung excellent framework. Yan po yung video, and we will be sharing more about it later, no? Excited na ako. Yeah, so thanks to Teacher Candice and team, nagpa-poll po kami. And I just would like to share with you yung results ng ating poll when we asked you, aling competencies, excellent competencies, ang madalas ninyong nakikita sa behavior ng inyong mga estudyante. So ang sabi po ninyo, ang pinakamataas, 34%, pagkilala sa sarili. No, self-aware yung ating mga learners. Second is yung pagiging responsable. Responsibility, followed by pagsisikap or perseverance. And then triple tie, yung pamamahala sa sarili or self-management, pakikiisa, being one with others, at pagmamalasakit or deep sense of care and concern. So bukas pa po actually yung ating poll, no? Nasa Facebook account po natin. So if you have time, please answer the poll question and let us know kung alin po sa mga excellent competencies ang natutuwa kayo dahil madalas ninyong nakikita sa inyong mga learners. Abangan po namin yan. So kung mag-increase or magbabago yung numbers dito. So let me just go here. Yung contextualized SEL competency framework po, it's a continuous, it's not linear. Alam po natin na mag-i-evolve pa po yung SEL competencies, no? Nag-a-adapt po kasi yon sa learners' needs, sa kanilang mga experiences, and of course, sa kanilang mga circumstances. And it's developmental. It shows up differently at different developmental stages, cultures, and geographical locations. So take for example po, no, yung mga nakausap namin, sabi kasi namin kanina, di ba, from K to 12 learners yung kausap natin, including ALS. So when they talk about empathy, they actually express it differently. So kung mas bata, makikita yung empathy shows up through sharing or cooperative plan or cooperative play. While of course, yung mga high school students, iba na rin yung kanilang expression. It's really more of active listening, mas nagiging involved na sila sa kanilang mga communities. And yung pagiging responsable also, another example. Kapag grade 1, di ba, and ito kakagaling lang namin sa FGD kahapon with parents, ang sabi nila yung mga anak nila, nakikita nila yung pagiging responsable dahil yung mga anak nila tumutulong sa mga gawaing bahay, naghuhugas ng plato, nagwawalis, and others. Pero yung mga older learners, sa kanila, marami na yung nagtatrabaho na. No, kumikita na para sa kanilang pamilya. Sa culture din po sa family, meron din tayong iba-iba yung pag-express, no, ng mga SEL competencies. Kasi meron mga families that they're very expressive pagdating sa kanilang emotions and feelings dahil ganun yung upbringing, no? Pero meron din namang iba na mas withhold. Yun po, no? So, but then again, makikita natin yung range, no, nung how SEL is being expressed. And that, sabi nga kanina ni Teacher Hill, okay yun. Okay lang yun. Kasi nga, they show up differently. And of course, the framework emphasizes the value of caring and inclusive environment. So, kung babalikan ko lang po yung ating framework, makikita natin na envelope dyan, yung mapagkalinga at inklusibong tahanan, paaralan at komunidad. So very important that they have safe spaces, inclusive spaces. And gusto ko rin pong i-mention na yung competency framework na na-develop natin is a guide, no? It's not a prescription. In fact, it can be further contextualized by teachers. For example, kung gagamit po kayo ng mga modules niyo as you deliver the lessons, pwede pa kayong gumamit ng mga local examples, no, na mas makaka-relate yung ating mga learners. And we also say that the excellent framework is a living document. So perhaps in 5 years' time, when we do a round of research again, iba na yung itsura ng mga competencies. Kasi syempre, nag-iba na rin yung konteksto ng ating mga Filipino learners. So with that, I would like for us to pause first, no? Hinto muna tayo, hinga, at mag-reflect. And you can do this silently, or if you want, you can share with us in the chat box yung answer po ninyo dito sa ating reflective question. Which ideas resonated with your experience as a teacher? So sa mga napag-usapan po natin, alin po doon yung resonated with you most as a teacher? And which ideas invited you to see things differently? Sige po. Hinto, hinga, reflect. We'll be giving you 2 minutes to do that. Which ideas resonated with your experience as a teacher? So, dami na po nating napag-usapan, pero alin po doon yung talagang tumatak sa inyo? Alin po doon yung take away ninyo? At alin din po doon yung mga sa tingin nyo, nag-invite sa inyo to see things differently or challenge perhaps some of your current beliefs and ideas. Nakikita ko mga competencies yung mga sinasagot ng ating mga ka-collab, mga teachers. Yung deep sense of care. Ito po yung inyong mga takeaways. Those that resonated with you as a teacher, compassion to children, pagiging responsableng mag-aaral, pagiging mapagmahal. Learning recovery requires both academic skills and social-emotional learning. Bless. But thank you so much for your responses. Pagmamalasakit invited me to see things differently. Ayan, so si Ma'am Marisol, ang sabi niya, contextualization of materials to fit the student's background and needs. So yun yung inyong key takeaway. Maraming salamat po, Kakulab, Marisol. Others, please share with us your reflections. Putting yourself in their shoes. Ang daming pumapasok no, ng mga responses. Because we are now 52,768 in the room. So it's not only academics that contribute to students' learning. Yes, so si Kahola Brubel naman po, Bartolay said, talking about helping learners to be resilient, I am reminded to look on learners' emotions and how they are feeling before teaching. Help more learners achieve by really seeing and checking on them. Salamat po, Teacher Robel. Talaga po, very important that our learners, they feel seen and valued. Ayan naman po, Kakolab Sai za Abrea Gabion, shows differently at different developmental stages, cultures, and geographical locations, since my learners are coming from different areas and with different cultures. Yes, totoo po yan. SEL is actually expressed differently, no? Depende kung asang stage, culture, and location ang ating mga learners. Please keep them coming. Ayan, si Kakolab Nonomi Urot. As a grade 1 teacher, I realized that maybe my non-readers are not that emotionally ready, even if they are already repeaters. No? What a realization. So si Kakolab Brian J. Bermudo, remediation is not about catching the lesson. It is about the readiness of the learners. Yes, tumpak na tumpak po mga kakolab. Salamat po sa inyong mga sharing. Si Kakolab Hards, Jean Jaudian, I think the idea that we need to empower the students to feel confident in themselves, for them to feel that they are capable. Ang ganda po nun, Kakolab Hearts. Pupusuan natin yan. Okay, so maraming salamat po for sharing with us your reflection. So please continue to share. Please allow me to move to the next part of my presentation kasi you've been mentioning remediation already. Tama po kayo, no? That too often, yung remediation po, they feel like, you know, yung mga learners natin, they feel like failure sila, they're left behind. Kasi ang target natin sa aral, yung mga nagsastruggle academically. So those who are left behind. But sabi nga, no, yung true remediation is something deeper. For learning to really gaps to be addressed, kailangan yung mga learners, they feel ready. And yun, tama yung sinabi ni Teacher Hearts, na kailangan ma-feel nila yung confidence, yung motivation, and that sense of engagement so that they are ready to learn. So, with that, gusto ko pong i-share sa inyo kung paano, how excellent competencies show up in remediation. So, for sure, mga dear teachers, mga dear collab, marami pa po kayong pwedeng i-share. Ano? So, use the chat box lang. But sa pagkilala sa sarili, for example, mahalaga na tulungan natin yung ating mga learners to really understand yung kanilang kalakasan at saka kahinaan. Sana po i-encourage natin sila na mawala yung hiya, yung hiya talagang yan really keeps us from learning. At saka yung fear of failure so that they are able to ask help. Very important po yun na yung learners have those competencies so that yun nga, ang sabi natin, they are ready to learn again. And for teachers naman, para mapalakas natin to, marami tayong pwedeng gawin. But this is just one, no? One practical tip or strategy. We can provide quick self-check prompts, 'di ba? Ito po actually ginagamit ko rin to sa aking mga anak, 'di ba? So whenever there are faced with very hard like lessons, pinapasagot ko sa kanila, sige, ano yung madali para sa iyo? Saan ka nahihirapan? Ano yung tulong na kailangan mo? 'Di ba? Pag nasusulat nila 'yon, then it becomes easy for them to also express. And that also for teachers, nakikita natin saan pa tayo pwedeng mag-focus, magbigay ng further support. And that has to be normalized, no? Yung self-check prompts. And ito, 'di ba, yung mga tanong po, walang actually judgment. Talaga it's really curiosity. Ano yung madali para sa iyo dun sa mahirap nating subject? Alin doon yung nahihirapan ka? At bilang guro, of course, we ask them, how do I help you? Sa pamamahala po sa sarili, very important kasi alam naman po natin na yung remediation ay hindi madali for our learners, that we help them manage stress and frustration. So, ito, kailangan din ma-nurture natin yung kanilang ability to be curious. So, again, another routine, perhaps a practical routine that we can use, yung ginawa natin kanina, no? Kapag sobrang overwhelmed na sila, pwede natin itong gamitin. Hinto, hinga, subok uli. So, hinto muna, di ba? Para hindi ganun kabigat for our learners. And then, hingahin, ang simple breathing exercise actually helps. Before we ask them, sige, try ulit, no? So ito, mga simple strategies that teachers can use, sabi ko nga po, i-share ninyo sa chat box kung ano yung mga ginagamit niyo. Sa pagsisikap naman, this is defined in the excellent framework, no? Yung mga learners natin, hindi bumibigay, kailangan mas palakasin natin to. Very Filipino, hindi bumibigay. And so we engage them in productive struggle na okay lang na nahihirapan tayo kasi that's actually where we learn, no? And where we strengthen our muscles, for example, in reading or what have you. So, importante rin po yung growth mindset when they feel very challenged. And ito, just an example, pwede natin i-break ang task into smaller achievable steps. For example, sa reading, instead of saying na pakibasa yung buong talata, pwede nating sabihin, basahin muna yung isang pangungusap, tapos bilugan natin kung alin doon yung sa tingin natin hindi nila nabasa na mabuti. May immediate feedback. Very important din po yun. Ano? Pagiging responsable, kailangan makita ng mga learners natin na yung remediation is actually a step toward their dreams and aspirations in life. So, lalayo po tayo. Mag-zoom out tayo ng konti. Kasi syempre, di ba, nandoon sila sa, ito, kailangan ko na namang, di ba, yung subject na hirap ako. So, kumbaga, palalakihin lang po natin na ano ba yung pangarap nila sa buhay? Ano ba yung aspirations nila sa buhay? Because if that is asked of them, and we are able to connect the subject to those things, bigger things, then learning becomes meaningful for them. And here, yung teachers po, sabi ko nga, we can set small goals and connect them to long-term aspirations. So yun yung mga strategies that we can give them. Pakikiisa, this is where we need to strengthen yung participative skills ng ating mga learners. They need to listen and collaborate respectfully, of course, in a safe and inclusive learning environment that we facilitate. For teachers, what we can do is engage our learners in cooperative activities where collaboration and respect for different opinions are emphasized. So very important na merong mga norms, no, na walang tatawanan or walang yung at nagtulungan sa mga group activities. Pagmamalasakit is is the last competency. Show empathy, care, and consideration for others who are valuing themselves as learners. So this is where yung simpleng pangungumusta at pagpapakita ni teacher ng supportive words and action really matter. Yung showing care, no, by the teachers can be very, very powerful. So yung mga pinakita ko po sa inyo, these are just, practical um, practices, no? Or tips for teachers. Sabi ko nga, I am very sure na meron pa kayong mga ginagawa sa inyong mga classroom para mas mapalakas pa yung ating SEL competencies or SEL competencies ng ating mga learners. Now, excellent teachers in aral. So gusto ko lang i-highlight na yung excellent competency, the framework adopts a strengths-based lens. So we use, sabi ko kanina, appreciative inquiry. No? So rather than asking, ano ba yung hindi nagagawa nitong learner ko? Diba? Nire-reframe natin, ano ba yung kaya na nilang gawin? So, ito, marami na pong research, no, seeing how powerful this can be, 'di ba? And when learner strengths are actually identified and leveraged, tumataas po kasi yung engagement and motivation ng ating mga learners. So in remediation, very, very important po na we move from deficit, no, thinking. Tama na yung 'di ba, yung naririnig natin sa mga bata na bobo kasi ako sa math or mahina ako sa pagbasa, 'di ba? So kailangan tayo mga teachers very sensitive tayo sa mga naririnig natin from them, and mas palakasin natin, i-highlight natin yung nakikita nating kalakasan from them. So as simple as saying, "Uy, napansin ko kanina na-explain mo yung concept ng malinaw." Yung mga ganun lang, it's really rebuilding their confidence, which drives them to put more effort, no? But of course, yung strengths-based lens, gusto ko lang i-highlight na hindi naman niya i-ignore yung gaps. Andiyan pa rin yung gaps, but it anchors yung growth in the dignity of our learners. Second, create emotionally safe spaces. So, alam po natin, learning cannot happen where fear dominates. Kapag katakot tayo, nako, alam ko, kasi ganito ako. Pagka ako po natakot na, wala na, nagsha-shut off na ako. So, yung brain natin, nasa survival mode na yan. So, mahirap nang matuto kapag stressed, no? So, yung remediation often triggers KIA. So yung excellent teachers po, very important that we are intentionally creating emotional safety. So tandaan lang po natin na even small practices, they matter. We also need to normalize mistakes and productive struggle. So kailangan po yung pagtingin sa mistakes, hindi po siya interruption to learning or to learning, but rather they're very important para po mas mapalakas yung pathway to learning. So when learners believe that they have the ability to grow through effort, they persist longer, di ba po, and perform better. Alam natin yan. So kailangan lang mas intentional tayo. And normalizing yung struggle. So pag hindi pa kaya, it's not like I can't do it. I can't do it yet. Hindi pa. Hindi ko pa kaya. Rather than saying hindi ko kaya at all, di ba? So yung language natin is very important. We build perseverance and confidence. Yung perseverance naman po is not built through pressure. Alam natin yan. So kailangan merong mga achievable challenges in the mediation. So tasks must be calibrated, of course, depending on our learners. Kasi kapag sobrang dali for them, then of course, nabobore sila ng mabilis. Kapag sobrang hirap naman, nagsha-shutdown sila. So as teachers, we break tasks into smaller steps so that our learners are able to celebrate small wins and track progress. Very important po for self-efficacy to show, di ba, small successes that are, because these are sources of confidence. And then lastly, of course, yung facilitate stronger emotional connections with learners. Ito po, tinanong namin sa inyo, and this is also surface as one of the most important things that teachers need. Kayo mga kakulab, sabi ninyo kailangan na mas emotionally connected kayo sa inyong mga learners. Kasi totoo po, relationships ng teacher and student are the strongest, one of the strongest influences on learning. Hindi po technology, hindi po yung mga programs. It's really yung relationship po ninyo inside the classroom. Because remediation is a relational work. So gusto ko lang pong sabihin na yung learners who feel known, who feel heard, they who feel valued, they actually try more. No? Mas sila yung nagthrive in remediation. So tayo pong mga teachers kailangan mas mas aware tayo, and of course mas malakas yung ating SEL competencies. So these are just some of the reminders for our teachers kung paano po kayo magiging excellent teachers in remediation. Okay, so ngayon po, excellent in aral. Gusto ko lang pong i-highlight ulit na yung excellent in aral reframes learning recovery from deficit to growth. Sabi ko nga, this is a strengths-based remediation approach grounded in SEL. So this is where yung teachers po, we start with what our learners can do already. So ano ba yung kalakasan? Ano na yung nakikita natin sa kanila so that we are able to build their confidence and competence to learn again para po sila ay maging mga batang mahusay at may tiwala sa sarili at sa kapwa. So with that, gusto ko pong tanungin as a closing reflection. Kasi kanina yung pinakita ko, yung poll po no, for our learners. Pero kayo pong mga teachers, no, as a closing reflection, kung pwede po pakisagot din nito, this is a sentence, complete the sentence. To improve my oral classes, one SEL competency I will intentionally nurture starting tomorrow is? So ano pong excellent competency ang inyo pong sisiguraduhin na mapapalakas ninyo starting tomorrow so that you can become an excellent teacher in aral? Yan. So I'll be giving you a minute to respond. So gamitin lamang po yung chat box. Ang dami pa pong nag-share ng mga reflection nila. Thank you so much. As a closing reflection, please share with us one excellent competency that you will intentionally nurture starting tomorrow. Tomorrow po agad, ano? Sorry, after ng date ninyo, palalakasin na ninyo agad-agad. So, merong pagkilala sa sarili, empathy, pagmamalasakit. Ang dami ng pagmamalasakit, pamamahala sa sarili. Salamat po, dear teachers, for your humility, no, to in answering this. Totoo naman kasi, marami pa po, no, hindi porket teacher na tayo at na-promote tayo as principal, hindi na kailangan palakasin ang ating SEL. It's a lifelong journey, no? So, meron pa. Ang dami kong nakikitang pagmamalasakit. So, maraming salamat po for your responses. So, just keep them coming. Siguro po yung mga ka-collab team, sa-summarize nila to. No? Kaya ng tool? Sige po. So, just to also mention na yung excellence journey is actually continuing. So, very happy po kami to share with you that yung excellent po is used as a reference for the validation of the DepEd's homeroom guidance program. It's now serving as a reference point in the ongoing discussions towards the development of a national SEL policy. Yes po, meron pong ginagawang national SEL policy ang DepEd. And kami po sa Inotech, as a regional center in Southeast Asia, yung competency framework po natin, ginagamit po namin itong isang prototype and a proof of concept for contextualized framework that we can share with other countries in Southeast Asia. Di ba po? So, tayo naman yung nag-i-import ng framework. And lastly, ito, very, very excited po kami sa excellent team that we are currently, malapit na po matapos. No, we will soon launch for pilot implementation the excellent course for teachers and school heads. Yan po. So yung details po nito, i-share namin very, very soon. So, isa na lang. Okay, so ito lang po. Kung gusto po ninyong malaman pa kung ano pa yung mga details or detalye ng excellent framework, ito po siya. Please use the QR code and access this, the explainer for the excellent competencies. Kasi nga po, very limited yung time natin. We don't have the opportunity to tell you ano ba yung mga success descriptors. Kasi po yung mga nuances, no? Ando dun po siya sa detalye. So ako, I strongly invite you and encourage you to take a look at our local SEL framework. And with that, gusto ko pong magpasalamat for your very active participation. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you the excellent framework.
Maraming salamat po, Ms. Mitch, for that thought-provoking and meaningful discussion on contextualizing social-emotional learning and the journey behind developing the excellent framework for Filipino learners. Mukhang ngayon pa lang po, marami ng takeaways ang ating mga kakolab. Ang ating mga kakolab po, by the way, na nanonood sa atin ng live ay umaabot po ng 61,000 plus dito sa ating session for today. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Ang ating mga kakulab po na yan, 61,000. Marami na pong takeaways tungkol sa importansya ng pag-develop ng isang Filipino-centered SEL framework dahil as emphasized by Ms. Mitch, SEL is not a one-size-fits-all. And if we really want SEL to be effective for our learners, it has to be tailor-fit for them and it has to be made with them. And that's precisely what the excellent framework is all about. It helps us become excellent teachers who are able to guide our learners towards being excellent as well. And now that we've had some amazing insights from Teacher Candice and Ms. Mitch, it's now time for our Q&A session. Mga kakolab, this is your chance to ask any questions you have on social-emotional learning, remediation, or the excellent framework itself. Let's invite Teacher Candice and Ms. Mitch back to the stage. Mga kakolab, if you have any questions or thoughts, please type them in the Q&A section of our MS Teams. Hello po ulit, Teacher Candice and Ms. Mitch.
Hi, Teacher Jahil.
Ayan, meron na po tayong unang question para po sa ating mga resource speakers for today. Panorama Education developed a gauge or survey to assess students' SEL. Yung ginawa nila aligned sa CASEL, syempre US-based. Ang tanong ko po, mayroon na po ba tayong Filipino-based SEL gauge for students and teachers? Ayan, I'd like to invite po si Ms. Mitch po muna to answer this question.
Ang mabilis pong sagot ay wala pa po. Wala pa. Pero gagawin po natin yan. Yung excellent or SEL assessment po, yan po ay nakasunod na. It's in the pipeline already.
Ayan, tunay na pong the SEL journey continues. How about naman po si Teacher Candice? Would you like to add something po?
But if I may add, Teacher Hill, no? Can you hear me?
Yes po.
Yeah, okay. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, no? We build on the strengths of each other. What has been done, we build on it. Whatever instrument is out there, we use it, then the results we contextualized to our schools, to our communities. So hindi ibig sabihin na yan ay Western, hindi na natin yan magagamit. Habang ginagawa pa ng ating mga partners ang mga susunod na mga kabanata, kailangan na po nating may gawin. So gamitin po natin kung ano na po yung meron, gamitin natin yung results doon. Actually, ang pinaka-importante po ay alam natin anong ibig sabihin ng results at anong implications noon para sa atin. Kasi yung next steps noon sa atin na. No? So the data will tell us what to do next, what to focus on. I hope that helps. While we're waiting for what's final, let's not slow down. Let's keep going and use what we can.
Thank you, Ms. Mitch and Teacher Candice. Ayan, let's keep moving forward lang po. And I hope po ng ating mga kakolab ay ma-inspire ng ating aral series on SEL po to join us in the journey of developing more SEL tools for our communities, for our learners, and for our teachers. Now, for our next question, meron po tayo from our kakolab. Sabi po nila, ask lang po, kung may programa din po ba para sa mga parents? Kasi part po sila ng emotional stability ng students. May mga PTCA po bawat school. Why not talk them for a series of conferences also? This is just a suggestion din po. Ayan, sabi po nila. Maybe we can start with Teacher Candice.
Well, talaga pong dapat kasama natin ang ating families, no? Ang ating school communities. Nakakatuwa. Kung sino man po yung nagtanong nito, very good po kayo, advance, no? I-discuss po natin to sa day 3, aabangan po ninyo. Darating po ang ating mga partners pang iba, ang ating resource persons. We will discuss this. Dapat ba na i-tap natin ang parents? Yes. But who's going to tap them? Pakitapik-tapik din po ang ating mga selves. Tayo din yan. Yes. Hindi po tayo dapat maghintay, no? Na parang, kailan kaya nila tatawagin? Ganyan. No? Habang wala po, gagawin po natin yung kaya natin. But should we tap parents? Should we tap family members? Yes. Yes. But that responsibility is on us. No? So, aralin po natin ito mabuti para ma-share po natin mabuti sa ating mga pamilya. Yan po ang aking masagutan. Very good suggestion po.
Thank you, Teacher Candice. And maybe Ms. Mitch would also like to add.
Oo, no? Ang ganda nga ng tanong. And I'm reminded dito sa binanggit ko po kanina na excellent course for teachers. Kasi yung course po na yon, it's for teachers, but doon po maha-highlight po talaga yung role din ng parents, no? Because it's a whole school approach. So it's SEL kasi hindi lang naman siya sa eskwelahan. Talaga it starts at home. Kaya very important po na for teachers, alam din natin how to engage the parents, more meaningfully, no? I'm sure marami na tayong ginagawa, but are there other ways of like doing it? So yun po, aabangan po natin sa excellent course for teachers. And other than that, I'm sure it will also be tackled as mentioned by Teacher Candice on the third day.
Alright, thank you Ms. Mitch and Teacher Candice. Kaya naman po, stay tuned po in all the 3 Saturdays po na magkakasama tayo for this aral series. At stay tuned din po sa excellent course na ibinibida po ni Ms. Mitch from Simeo Inotech. And now we have another question from our kakolab, Jomel Calderon. Can the framework be interpreted as sequential with one phrase serving as the foundation for the succeeding phase? Ayan, ang tanong po na ito ay para kay Ms. Mitch.
Opo. Sabi po natin kanina, ang framework po ay hindi linear. So hindi po siya in a way sequential na mag-uumpisa muna tayo sa pagkilala muna ng sarili bago yung pagmamalasakit. Because we know that it doesn't work that way. That one competency is actually not isolated with the others. So kailangan po buo yung ating pagtingin. So kasi lahat po yan, kumbaga they actually complement each other. Kahit po sa pag-define ng mga competencies, no, hirap na hirap kami na hindi matouch yung ibang mga competencies. kasi hindi talaga possible because these are very much interconnected, interrelated. And sa pagpapalago po ng mga competencies, siguro while of course we are very intentional na this activity is, for example, managing emotions, mapapansin po natin na marami na rin other competencies na natatackle or na-address as we do it. So, to answer, hindi po siya linear, no? It's actually, it's not even sequential. So, mas maganda po na tignan natin siya as a whole. No? It's in its entirety, that framework.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you,
Teacher,
Ms.
Mel,
Mitch.
I want to add. I
Yes
want to
po,
add
may
something.
add si Teacher Candice.
So, ka-collab Teacher Jomel, tama po, no? Hindi kasi siya sequential. Pero tayong teachers, pag tinuro natin siya intentionally, syempre isa-isa muna nating ituturo, pero ang pagtuturo natin sa mga bata ay hindi siya hiwa-hiwalay. No, they don't happen in isolation. Because sa totoo, sabay-sabay may nangyayari, may mas matingkad na competency in one situation. So pag tinuro po natin siya, we teach the competencies one at a time, but the mindset is really that there is an interplay of competencies in the entire framework. Pero naiintindihan ko kasi pag ituturo mo na, no, parang sandali, parang ko ibabudget kung lahat naman yun sabay-sabay. Siyempre, hindi po natin ganon. But your question po kasi is, can we look at it in a sequential manner? Then the answer is no. But when we teach it, we teach a competency at a time and then the mindset that there is an interplay.
All right. Thank you, Teacher Candice and Miss Mitch. And now for our second to the last question from Kakola Billy Ray Castro. Can we say that motivation plays a vital role in SEL? But it is for the ARAL program. It is because we do motivation after the review and before the start of the lesson. But SEL focuses more on the mental health or socio-emotional that students learn more or motivated when they are happy. Ayan po ang ating katanungan. Siguro we'll give some time for our resource speakers to process the question. Medyo mahaba po, no? So paalala sa ating mga kakulab for sending in their questions. Please keep it concise and straightforward. Ayan, I think Teacher Candice is ready to answer the question.
Alam mo yung magaling na teacher, no? Alam na niya kung sinong ready mag-recite. So, Teacher Hill, ang sagot ko dyan, no? We as teachers are learning experience designers. So, kahit pa sa ating aral program, meron siyang sequence. Katulad ng pag nag-aaral tayo, di po ba? Sa umpisa, motivation, parang ganyan. Pero hindi kailangan na lagi siyang sa dulo kasi doon sa chart ko nasa dulo siya. Hindi po ganoon, ano? Motivation actually plays a very important role. And it doesn't start when you introduce it. Even when you interact with them outside, makita mo sila, makita mo yung aral tuti mo sa hallway, no? Tas nakikita ka niya at masaya siyang nakikita ka, hindi siya natatakot sa kanyang aral tutor. Motivated siyang pumunta. Actually, our learners want to do very well, especially when they like the teacher. So, to answer quickly, may sequence pong naka-suggest, but that is a suggestion. As learning experience designers, tayo po ang huhubog ng ating klase. So, nasa sa inyo po yun. Pwede nyo siyang i-shift-shift, no? Dapat muna alam natin yung i-shift-shift kasi baka naman magkagulo-gulo na, no? When we are starting out, we really follow the sequence. But later on, when we build competency, then we see, hindi ko to dapat ilagay sa dulo. Dapat sa gitna ko siya ipasok. I don't know if I got to answer your question, Kakola Billy Ray, no? So, sabi nyo, students learn more or motivated when they are happy. That's true. That's true. When they feel safe, when they feel that it's okay. Hindi ko pa naintindihan. Pero sabi ng teacher ko, bukas mas madali na yan. Yung gano'n, no? So, pwede nyo pong i-shift around. That's okay. I hope that answers the question. I don't know if Mitch wants to add, or Teacher Hill.
Really, just to build on, you already answered it, Teacher Candice, pero tama, no? It happens actually before, during, and after the class. Ang SEL po, sabi ko nga kanina, is something that we model. So yung simply po, no, the way we like say yes to or say hi to our learners, that's all actually SEL in action. Yung tone po natin, yung remembering their names, these are actually small practices, no, na talagang nakakatulong mag-build ng motivation ng ating mga estudyante. And siguro as teachers, lalo na kapag what do you call that? Yung senior teacher ka na, mas alam na alam mo na yan. Well, of course, there's a lesson plan that we follow, an instructional flow that we follow. Nakikita natin, depende sa reaction ng ating mga learners, di ba? Kailan natin papasukan or mas i-reinforce kailangan itong ganitong strategy. We play it by ear and we don't just say nung sinabi ni Teacher Candice, dito kasi siya sa umpisa or sa dulo. Otherwise, it feels like very artificial for our learners. And yung SEL po, because we talk about the hearts of our learners, it's something that our students and learners should feel. No, kailangan maramdaman talaga ng ating mga estudyante so that they are motivated all throughout the time they are with us in the remediation program. I know it's a big ask, but I'm sure kayang-kaya natin to, no?
Teacher Hill, Mitch, naalala ko lang, no? Kapag po naramdaman natin na ang mga estudyante natin dysregulated, wala na sila sa huwisyo, masyado nang frustrated, tas yun na lang yung oras mo, you have to pause. You have to pause. You have to say, okay, wait lang. Hihinga muna tayo sandali. Okay, wait lang, sandali lang, ganyan. Kasi there will be no learning if they are overwhelmed, if they are dysregulated. You have to take 2 minutes at least and then help regulate and then go back to your lesson. So wherever that's gonna happen, whenever that's gonna happen, we have to do that. No?
I agree, Teacher Candice. Kaya nga rin po, sobrang relatable nung sinasabi kanina ni Miss Mitch na hinto, hinga, at subok ulit. Dahil sa mga simpleng paraan katulad noon, mai-integrate na po natin ang SEL sa ating mga klase. And maraming salamat po sa pag-answer ng ating mga katanungan, Teacher Candice and Miss Mitch. Bigyan po natin sila ng mga heart react sa ating chat box, mga kakulap. Thank you so much po sa ating mga resource speakers.
See you later.
Ayan. Thank you po, Teacher Candice and Miss Mitch, for your time and insightful answers during the Q&A.